Good morning and welcome to Leading Life Large. It's Monday, it's February 4th, and welcome. It's 9 a.m. here on the Pacific Coast, and this is Leading Life Large. This is your opportunity to take a look at what works for you, what's not working for you in your life, in going towards successes in whatever your endeavors, your business, your finances, relationships, physical, mental, emotional health, your overall balance, overall well-being. So thank you for tuning in. And with that, what I'm hoping for those of you that are just joining in is that there's a reason why you came on over here. There's something missing for you, and I'm hoping that what I'm able to do is hit the mark for you, that I'm able to identify or maybe help deliver for you what it is that you're needing to be able to get you to that next level, and maybe get you to a place of having maybe your first successes, because it's just been elusive. One of the ways that I know that I'm delivering what you're needing out there is for you to let me know. So feedback is valuable for me. So welcome this morning. For those of you here in the U.S., as you know, yesterday was Super Bowl Sunday. Football fan or not, it's tough to avoid that that's something that is huge in our culture. And I heard someone say it's the second, if you will, the second most food consumption of the year. Thanksgiving being number one and Super Bowl Sunday being number two. And I know I did go out and have a little fun and with my wife and join others and in watching the game and just being together as a culture. So what I want to talk about today is talk about how important it is that we are in the game, that we're in the game. Now, obviously, part of yesterday's game and part of it being just having happened is part of what inspired my talk this morning. And I'll get to the game here in a bit. But when I'm talking about being in the game, for most of my life, for most of the stuff that I was going after, I most definitely had a game plan, worked with some business coaches along the way, did some personal growth along the way. The personal growth, by the way, is just personal awareness, becoming aware of who it is I need to become, or what it is that I need to be, or what it is that I need to do, right? So it was about self-awareness as I'm moving forward. And so I would get involved in business, and I would get involved in business endeavors, right? I created my own business. I also got on board with others who had business, and I was able to participate. And what I did was I got involved. There's no doubt about it. I got involved, and I was there, and I wasn't necessarily doing anything with what I was there for. So in other words, I went to seminars. I went to growth retreats. I went to professional trainings and went there to get all kinds of wonderful tools. And I would get a notebook, and I would get a binder, and there was a place for me to write notes. And I was there, and I was there for the cheers, and there for the let's go for it, and there for, Monday, and I'm going to, start making my life a certain way. And I was there. I was on the roster. I attended. I was, for all intents and purposes, I was on the team. But what I was not was really going for it. I was not inserting myself in the game. I was not taking the lead on anything. I was not looking for ways for me to be able to, truly bust out of where I had always been, was always going, and really step on out there. And I'll give you an example. So legitimate business I had, none of them have been illegitimate, but a brick and mortar business, coffee houses. We had 2 locations, and obviously I showed up every day, and we had business, and there was a period of time in there where I really jumped in, where I brought employees in, I removed myself from the store, and I got out in the community, and I created catering accounts, and I gave drinks away. I introduced myself to people as a local business owner and would like to be able to attract their business. And I was really engaged. I was what I call in the game, all the way in the game. And that I did that for a while, and I had terrific successes with that. until, and if you've all heard me before, until somewhere along the way my attitude of success changed. It declined, it diminished. And what happened was I started just showing up and running my business, just showing up and managing one of my locations, just showing up and making sure that the inventories were good and that the quality of the drinks were good and that the customers were being taken care of, which is all important stuff. But all I was doing now was maintaining my business. And if you will, I went from being full on in the game to just managing from the sidelines and just making sure the day-to-day stuff was okay. I stopped fully engaging. I stopped really going for it. I stopped being innovative. I stopped thinking of new ideas. I stopped bringing my team together, and I stopped having these brainstorming sessions where I'd go, what can we do to elevate our game? I stopped doing all that. I stopped engaging. I stopped going for the goal line. I'll use a few football metaphors here. And I was no longer in the game of life, in the game of business, in the game of succeeding. It was the game of surviving. I was in the game of just getting by. And that's not in the game. That's on the sidelines. Yeah, I'm in the stadium. I'm on the team. I'm registered, right? I'm a business owner. But I wasn't fully engaged. I wasn't all the way in it. Think about that for you. Think about that for you, whether it be relationships, or let's take it to business again. Maybe you're in a multi-level marketing business, right? Where you're on the roster. You're on the roster, you've gotten your kit, you've got a few people that you've attracted, you've had a couple of home meetings, and you're in it. And you're having some successes with it, right? You're making some sales, and you're starting to see some residual checks come in. And you've been going at this for 6 months, maybe 12 months, and you're just kind of going along doing the things that you've been doing from day one. And my question for you would be, how engaged are you really? How engaged in your success are you really? Are you spending time with those that have really hit the successful marks? Are you learning from them? Are you traveling and expending a little bit of money in yourself to be able to go where they're hanging out? And are you fully engaged? Are you in the game of the success of your business, or are you just on the sidelines kind of managing it, maintaining it, just getting by with it? Are you really going for it? So that's another business example. What about your relationships? Are you there? You're on the roster, right? Whether it be on the marriage certificate or the birth certificate as the dad or the mom. But are you all the way engaged? Are you all the way in the game of being a married partner or spousal partner, right? Whatever your relationship looks like. Are you all the way into being a parent? Are you all the way into being a boss for your people? Are you all the way into being a community member? Are you just showing up? You're on the roster? Or are you engaging? Are you innovating? Are you challenging others around there? And I've heard a business colleague of mine lately, he says this often, and I'm getting to understand it more and more and more and more. And I'm going to share the same thing with you. You have a responsibility to get in the game. You have gifts, you have attributes, you've got skills, you've got things that people are looking for. You're robbing your community, robbing your family, robbing your business, robbing your customers. They need for you to get all the way in the game. You're robbing your church members. You're robbing your social committee, whatever you're a part of. You're stealing from them when you're not all the way engaged because you've got skills, you've got something to offer them if you would just get all the way in the game. So what I invite you to take a look at is where you're playing it safe on the sidelines. Now I want to bring yesterday's game into what we're talking about right here because there was something real important that happened yesterday. In my opinion, of course, if you watch the game, you know the Ravens were the victors in the end, and they ended up winning the game. What happened though in the game though, and for those of you that didn't watch it, I'm gonna share the important stuff on this one. What happened was it became a very lopsided game early on. The Ravens were way ahead, and I want to say the score was 28-6, so 22 points. And San Francisco had no momentum. Kaepernick, who was the quarterback of the 49ers, he'd made some mistakes. They weren't able to get the run game going. And he'd already thrown an interception. There had already been a fumble. So there wasn't a lot going on. And I heard the announcers talking about at halftime where maybe this is the time to bring in the old quarterback, the veteran quarterback, the one who can get them there. I remember listening to that, hoping, man, I sure hope they don't. I sure hope they let Kaepernick stay in the game. And so what happened was, even the second half, there wasn't a huge momentum shift. In fact, that's right, what happened at the beginning of the second half was the moment the kickoff happened, the Ravens ran back a kickoff return for a touchdown. And that's what made it 28-6. And it looked like San Francisco was about to just get blown out, get their asses kicked. And what happened was this young quarterback who is started for the very first time this year. He's a sophomore, like his second season, but he'd never been a starter before this year. In fact, he was inserted halfway through the season, and he hung in there, and he turned his game around. And I'm sure he turned his game around with the support of the offensive coordinator, the support of the head coach, the support of others. And he turned his game around. He stayed in the game. And to the point where, for those of you that didn't watch the game was within 2 minutes, and he was on the 5-yard line, fourth down, and had an opportunity to win the game. Now, he didn't win. He didn't win. The pass was incomplete. They gave up the ball on downs, and the game was virtually over. And there was just a little over a minute left. It was just a matter of time before the clock ran out, and the 49ers were going to be on the losing end. But Kaepernick, to me, was the hero of the day, because what he showed all of us, he showed it what it means to stay in the game. And you and I have been many places right there, and I'm going to elevate our game here a bit. We've been many times where we were in the game, we're there all the way, like I was with my coffee business. I was doing all the things, and I had things happen that I allowed to take me out of the game. I had a Starbucks open up kitty corner from one of my locations. I had an employee quit on me that left me kind of stranded, kind of a difficult situation. And I had little things happen that took me out of the game. Same thing I could say in business, and maybe business for you, where you've had some successes, but then you hit some resistance, got the wind knocked out of you, had some people say no, had some people bail out, had relationships go wrong, or had a difficult time in a relationship, or had a violation of trust, and then you stop trusting in relationships, you get out of the game all the way. Whatever it is, where is it in your life where you were involved and engaged in your business, in making money, in home ownership, in raising your kids, in being in a spousal relationship, in being part of your community, where you had something happen and you let it take you out of the game? Where's that happen for you? So for this week, I want you to take a look at, where is it you're not all the way engaged in your game? Whatever it is. It's your physical fitness health, right? Where are you not all the way engaged in you taking care of your health? You might be exercising, but you're still eating fried chicken and donuts. Where you might be exercising, but you're starving yourself to death. Where you're not even eating. Or maybe you're eating well, but you're not moving, right? Where in your relationship are you there? You're showing up, you're making the money, or you're doing the good things for the family and making sure the house payments are made, which is a noble, admirable thing to do for your family. But where are you not engaging all the way with them? Where are you not taking a break from your computer, taking a break from your books, and spending time with them to watch a movie or do something special with them? Give them attention. Do something special for them. I heard someone ask the other day, they were talking about how supportive their wife was. This was a man, obviously. He was talking about how supportive his wife was in the relationship. And the question was asked, and how do you demonstrate support for her? What do you do for her? And the idea was, So great. So you're at least in the relationship by name, and you're certainly in there by acknowledging that she does all the kinds of things to support you. And how are you not all the way in your game of your marriage? How are you not all the way in? What are you doing for her? So look at your life and ask yourself, where are you not all the way in? Where are you on the sidelines now? Where were you all the way in once upon a time, but you've allowed setbacks to kind of knock the crap out of you, and you're staying back a little bit now. You're not as confident going in there because you're afraid that that might happen again, whatever that is. Where are you not all the way in the game? Where are you not showing the kind of courage that Kaepernick showed yesterday by getting in there and doing what he had to do to get his team back in the game? And I thought it was an incredible display of courage, an incredible display of confidence, right? Even when the confidence may be waning because we've had some setbacks and some failures. Which, by the way, and I've been really hearing this one a lot lately, if you haven't failed yet today, you haven't pushed yourself hard enough today. So it's another way of framing failure. If you're failing, that's a good thing, because you will never succeed if you haven't got setbacks, if you haven't really been pushing hard and trying to get beyond that. So for this week, for you, take a look at where you are not playing all the way, and what kind of support do you need to get back in the game? What kind of support do you need to finally get in the game, because you have been playing it on the sidelines? And I'm not suggesting that it's as simple as just do it. Now, on some level it is, and there's a reason why you're not. So get the support you need. Get with people who are succeeding and find out what it is that you can do to help people succeed yourself. Get with a coach, get with a mentor, get with your go-to person, the ones that can help you be able to do that. Go back and listen to my programs, if you will. Go back to the beginning of October and listen to that whole series, because that was all about how to get yourself geared and prepared for success for this year. Wherever you need to get it, but go get it. Go get the support you need so you can get back in the game, or maybe get in the game for the first time in your life. The deal is this: if you're not in the game, you can't win. If Kaepernick didn't stay in there was no chance of getting close enough and getting in the situation where he was actually at a point where just one completed pass would have won the game for them. It was because he was in the game. If you're not in the game, you can't win at anything. So it's time to get back in. Remember this: this is your one lifetime. Are you living it the way you want to live it, or is there something more you want? You have just this one lifetime, this time around, to be able to get after what you want. Now's the time to be able to do it. And that's my second piece: is tomorrow's not promised. Don't wait for tomorrow to get started. Get started today. In fact, one of the things for me this year I'm putting out publicly is that I am going to sing on stage. Don't know where the stage is and don't know what the song is, but it's something that has driven me and bothered me for years, because I love to sing, but there's a part of me that's way afraid to be able to sing in front of others. So this year I'm going to do that. Today I'm making a phone call to a person I reached out to over the weekend who actually is a coach for singing. And I'm going to give him a call today. We're going to set an appointment, and we're going to begin right there. So that's me getting in the game instead of just sitting on the sidelines watching others do something I have got great passion to do, and not be participating in my life. So where is it for you in your life? What's that thing you're not all the way in? What's that thing you're on the sidelines watching? Man, you'd sure love to be able to get in there. And you don't have to be the superstar, you don't have to be the quarterback, but you got to be in there. You got to be part of the team. You got to be in the game. So where are you on the sidelines? So get on that. Do something today for that. So thank you very much for joining. This is Robb Braun. This has been Leading Life Large, your chance to be able to take a look at what you need to be able to live your life big to your success this week. Bye-bye now.